Hello, friends, and welcome to Take Two for this Monday, the 16th of November, 2020. I'm Jeannie. I'm so glad you decided to come along for the ride today. Well, I like to share a little story with you that I've shared time and time again because it's really one of my favorite stories ever, and especially the lesson you can learn through it. Years ago, when Michael and I were living in Great Britain, we were visiting a church in Nottingham, and we were invited to speak that Sunday. So we were just getting to know this pastor and his wife. We were their guests, and when we went over there, we had a lovely church service, and then afterwards we were invited over for a big Sunday meal at their house. So we were sitting at their house, and their grown daughter, who is now married herself, she was sitting at the table as well, and we were all sitting there together, and we were having a nice meal together. And the pastor's wife said, I've got a story to tell you about our Kate, meaning their daughter. And she says, Mom, you're really not going to tell that story again? She says, yes, I am. She says, when Kate was 5 years old, she said, we were just starting out pastoring church, and we had the guest speaker that Sunday came to our home for lunch, the way you are today, having lunch with us. She said, and Kate was sitting next to me, and she was just staring and staring at this pastor who was just rambling on and yammering away at the table, and they were being polite and listening to what he had to say. And little Kate was yanking on her mama's shirt and going, Mommy, Mommy, and she's trying to whisper in her mother's ear. And her mother said, now, Kate, that's not polite. Let the gentleman talk. And, Mommy, I need to tell you something, Mommy. And she's pulling on her mother's shirt. So this was, now imagine this is young couple with an outspoken little 5-year-old daughter. And finally she said, Mommy, I need to whisper it in your ear. And Kate's mama said, the pastor's wife, now, Kate, anything you have to say, you can say out loud. Famous last words, right? She says, Mommy, and she points to the pastor, the visiting pastor, and says, why does that man have such a big nose? They quickly learned that the next time little Kate pulled on Mommy's shoulder because she wanted to, on her sleeve, because she wanted to tell her a secret, she'd let her whisper it in her ear. The point of today's story is this. Sometimes things are better left unsaid. Sometimes you need to just zip your lip and put your hand over your mouth. Because just because it's true doesn't mean you need to say it out loud. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there aren't times that issues need to be addressed, and a lot of times things are not said about certain issues, and they do need to be said, especially if you see a friend or a family member on a path of destruction. Sometimes you have to give them tough love and confront them on it, or maybe they're not doing their job, and a boss needs to confront an employee and let them know, and those kinds of things do need to be said. But truly, I do believe that man, that visiting pastor sitting at the table that Sunday afternoon with our friends, probably already knew he had a big nose. And maybe he was just a little sensitive about it. Well, he ended up being very, very good, as the story goes. He was good-hearted about it, and he did understand that sometimes out of the mouths of babes, things that need to be left unsaid sometimes are said. Listen, boys and girls, I challenge you today. If there are times that you say things and it's really not your place to say it, that you're hammering people or insulting them and things like that, zip your lip, because sometimes things like that are just left unsaid, and that's a better choice. Now, like I said, there are times that we do have to challenge people, particularly if we see that they're, self-destructive or something like that. Sometimes we need to remind them if they make a commitment to something and they're being lazy about it. Sometimes we need to tell them that. But don't, just for the sake of talking and just for the sake of giving your opinion about something, there are times where zipping your lip is a far better choice. Now listen, go out and be a blessing to somebody today. You may end up being the only one who is. And think and stop and say, did I need to really say that? Or is it better for me to keep it quiet? Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, JeanneSigler. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time I post another Take Two. Have a terrific week, everybody. It's Monday, so we're going to have a great week. Wonderful things to come. I just can feel it. All right? You be blessed, and I will see you on Wednesday for Hump Day. I love you. Bye-bye.